Ever feel like you're in a famine, like your business is drying up, the economy is against you, and everyone around you is just trying to survive? Well, let me tell you about a guy who didn't just survive a famine, he became a multimillionaire in the middle of one. His name was Isaac, and his story from the Bible is a game changer for anyone feeling stuck. So, picture this. There's a severe famine in the land. Food is scarce, people are panicking, and the logical thing to do is pack up and move somewhere with more resources, right? That's what everyone else was doing. But God told Isaac something crazy. He said, "Stay right here. Don't go down to Egypt. Live in this land, and I will be with you and will bless you." Now, this land was dry and barren. It was famine-stricken. From a purely business perspective, this was a terrible decision. It's like being told to open an ice cream shop in Antarctica. It made absolutely no sense. But Isaac did something radical. He obeyed. He trusted God over the circumstances he could see with his own eyes. And what does the Bible say happened next? Genesis 26, verse 12 says, Isaac planted crops in that land and the same year reaped 100-fold because the Lord blessed him 100-fold. In a single year, in the middle of a famine, while everyone else was struggling to find their next meal, Isaac was harvesting so much he didn't know what to do with it all. This wasn't just a small win. The scripture goes on to say, the man became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. He didn't just get by. He thrived. He became so successful, so overwhelmingly prosperous, that the local Philistines got incredibly jealous. Think about that for a second. His success was so loud and undeniable that it made his competitors, the very people who owned the land, feel threatened. They literally came to him and said, "You've got to leave. You've become too powerful for us." They were so intimidated by his blessing that they started filling up his wells with dirt just to sabotage him. Imagine your business being so blessed that your rivals resort to petty vandalism because they just can't compete with the favor on your life. That's the level of success Isaac experienced. So what's the secret sauce here? What was Isaac's key to turning a famine into a fortune? It wasn't a revolutionary farming technique or a secret business strategy. It was two things: obedience and faith. First, he stayed where God planted him. He resisted the urge to panic and run like everyone else. He chose to trust God's location even when it looked like a dead end. Sometimes the breakthrough you're looking for is right where you are, but it requires you to stay put and trust the process, even when logic screams at you to flee. Second, he took action in faith. He didn't just sit around and wait for food to fall from the sky. He planted in dry, hard, unpromising ground. He sowed seeds. He put in the work believing that God would honor his promise and bring the increase. He paired his faith with action. This is so powerful for us today. Maybe you're facing a famine in your career, your finances, or your business. Maybe sales are down, contracts are delayed, and the future looks uncertain. It's easy to look at the famine and feel hopeless. But Isaac's story shows us that our circumstances do not have the final say. God does. God can turn your season of lack into your greatest season of abundance. That struggling project isn't your downfall. It could be the very field where you're about to reap 100-fold harvest. Those closed doors aren't a rejection. They might be God's way of positioning you for something far greater. Your famine is not your end, it's your setup for a testimony. It's the backdrop against which God's blessing will shine the brightest. When you succeed in a booming economy, people might say you got lucky. But when you prosper in the middle of a crisis, people know it can only be God. So, I want to ask you a question today, the same one this story asks all of us. What are you planting? In the middle of your perceived lack, what seeds of faith are you sowing? Are you sowing seeds of trust, hard work, and generosity? Are you planting new ideas, reaching out to new clients, and developing new skills, all while trusting God for a 100-fold return? Don't let the fear of famine paralyze you. Be an Isaac. Stay planted in God's promises, do the work He's called you to do, and watch Him bring a harvest that defies all logic. Your greatest breakthrough might be just one act of obedience away. Thanks for watching today. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you thrive in every season of life. See you in the next video.